Let's go! People are dying!
These days, law enforcement has to be ready for the unthinkable. A school in Newtown, a business in San Bernardino, a concert in Las Vegas, a church in Sutherland Springs. No one knows where the next threat may be lurking. And while these cases are rare, the foundations of these skills are commonly used in police work. All eyes were on St. Louis County Police Chief John Belmar when he dropped by the St. Louis County and Municipal Police Academy to teach Class 193 the basics of building searches.
We want to get down there so we're actually always in a position and we're smooth. When they hit the street, this is something they're going to be doing all the time. So alarm soundings go off, they find open doors, different things like that. They're going to have to go in these open spaces and kind of figure out how to do it safely.
Before becoming St. Louis County's top cop, Belmar worked in several precincts and specialized units across the county, including tactical operations, arsons and explosives, crimes against persons, and special operations.
Man, once you give yourself up and then go back and then boom, you're all of a sudden out, I think you lose the tactical advantage at that point. It's a wide array that we have to teach recruits in 6 months. I mean, I give them the very best. These instructors are outstanding.
Belmar spent hours with the class, watching as pairs of recruits navigated a hallway and a dark room full of obstacles.
You did a great job of slicing the pie into that room.
He offered honest feedback.
I like the positive reinforcement. So you guys did some really cool things and you did some really uncool things. I want us to learn, I want us to ask questions, and then we're going to be better off for it. And we're going to build on this on everything else we do. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can learn about it in a PowerPoint, but when you actually go out there and you're feeling the movements and thinking about where your gun is pointing and flashlight management, then it becomes a whole different ball game.
Good to go? Yes, sir. All right, weapons out.
Academy instructor Eric Osterman says most calls to search a building are pretty uneventful.
He has to treat everything as a potential threat. Building searches are one of those things. There's high anxiety there, and 99 times out of 100, there's nobody in the building. The wind blew the door open.
But it seems all too often these days the threat is real, very real. Osterman says in building searches, officers are systematically searching spaces. But in an active shooter situation,
shots fired! Shots fired!
They're looking to stop the threat at any cost as soon as possible.
Once you get to the room that you need to enter, everything's game on.
Osterman brings in actors to play victims. Recruits are equipped with airsoft guns, and so are instructors acting as shooters. The goal is to overstimulate their senses and exhaust them physically. The lights are low, the adrenaline is high, and there's just so much noise.
Keep watching, keep watching. You're supposed to watch forward, you're supposed to watch forward. They made it very difficult for us by giving us an audio stimulus, blasting that loud music. And we had the mask on top of that, so we felt like we were screaming at each other, but it was still very hard to hear.
That could be a fire alarm going off, that could be sirens blaring, that could be people yelling.
We have to be vocal, you have to be loud. Go all the way out, and then I'll come in.
A lot of us took a couple rounds to the back because we didn't know that there was a team. Not that the person wasn't identifying that there was a threat there, but we didn't hear it.
It can be hard to hear your partner yelling over the screams of victims begging for help.
Help! He's got my gun! Some of them were deceased in the hallways. Some of them are calling out for help, reaching out for the police officer, asking for assistance.
Even though you don't want to, you have to basically walk past them. You know, you can't save anyone if there's still someone shooting people.
In a four-man diamond, one officer will lead the group.
They're kind of really the main communicator and keeping their eyes down the hallway.
Someone has to go first.
They always say the first person who goes, most likely is the person who's going to get shot.
The bad guy knows where you're coming from. He knows that you can't walk through a wall or drop down from the ceiling. You have to come through there.
Someone has to watch their backs.
They're watching our six. They're making sure that there's no threats coming up from behind us.
When Heron was in the rear, she had no clue a shooter was going to pop out from the rear.
Osterman says recruits may never face an active shooter, but every officer should know what to do when duty calls.
This is where we learn, okay? I'd rather you make the mistakes here and we learn here. Nice job, nicely done.
Calling in specialized units takes time, and Osterman says statistically, most active shooter events are over within minutes.
The first police officers there, the uniformed officer, those are the officers that are really neutralizing and winning these type of scenarios. Those are the people that are saving lives.
After 6 months of intense training, Class 193 graduates this week. But we're not done with them just yet. Next month, Fox 2 will reunite some of the recruits and instructors to talk about their experience and find out about the first month of field training. We'll have more details after the holidays. In the meantime, you can catch up on all of our exclusive coverage inside the Academy at fox2now.com/Academy.